Hi guys, welcome to Crimeshield podcast, and this is the maiden take of our podcast, and it's an engaging podcast with relevance to security. And today on our podcast, we have my good friend Cleven Langi, who will tell you more about him, and we're going to deep dive into a subject matter that has been very critical, especially this week. So, Cleven,
Yeah.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
So
week, this
yes.
week we have been having a lot of tension, especially with people who jog, people who are walking in town. You saw that series, not a series, rather the clip that was making rounds on social media,
Mm.
where some I think foreigners were walking along Gong Road, and they were mugged. What's your take about it?
Well, I think we do need first and foremost a lot of awareness training.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily as far like a security technician or expert,
Mm.
but just to be aware of our environments and where we are working.
Okay.
I'll also think help to always have a local who
Mm.
understands where you're working and the conditions under which you are living in that particular country, specifically Nairobi.
Yeah.
However, regardless of that situation, I still think Nairobi is still safe.
Yeah, Nairobi is safe, of course.
If you compare it with other cities in the
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
just that a little bit of awareness training will do, I guess, will increase a lot of safety
Yeah.
as far as people are concerned, whether you're local or a foreigner. By the
Mm.
way, it can happen to
To
anyone.
anyone, yeah, it can
Yeah,
happen to
yeah,
anyone. It was
yeah.
quite unfortunate that it happened, and I think there's a trend,
Yes.
so to say, where crimes of opportunity do occur,
Mm,
and as you've clearly stated, that it's just a lack of awareness.
mm,
People walk and they don't even know what is surrounding them. In that
mm.
clip, I saw, they were walking. They are all white,
Yes.
and they were walking, but in their gait you could see that they were not really walking confidently,
Yes.
the same way you will walk to a place that you know how
Mm,
the area looks like. Then you have
yes.
that kind of confidence in their gait when they're walking, and
Mm,
that is why I think people just decided, the criminals just decided to pick and run, and it
mm,
has happened to many people. What can you tell people when they're walking
mm.
in town, going to the market? What can they do in order to
I
keep
think
themselves safe?
the awareness will go beyond just coming out of your gate and knowing your area. It
Mm-hmm.
will also mean being aware of what is happening on the roads,
Mm-hmm.
the markets. For example, in this particular case,
Mm-hmm.
if they would have been much aware of what is happening on the roads and
Mm-hmm.
their environs, they could have seen the guys that pulled up with several bikes.
Yeah.
That should already have been alarming to them to
Mm-hmm.
even come together as a group.
Yeah.
But I think most importantly is the training. And I guess for
Mm.
most of these guys that are coming from abroad,
Yeah.
they must go through a particular session or class
Mm-hmm.
to just bring them up to speed
Yeah.
in terms of now you're in Kenya, these are the things that happen here,
Mm-hmm.
the custom, the culture, all these things. I think they will lead to, more awareness
Of the
of
environment.
the environment that we
Mm-hmm.
are we are based in.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I think a little bit of training. But as you know, I don't know of any human being that enjoys the pain of training or enjoys the training.
So the training
So
you're talking about, is it physical? Is it physical training like the one we do,
you kind of have
or?
to have both. A little bit of physical. Should you end
Yeah.
up in a situation like that, what can you do?
Mm.
Awareness in terms of understanding. I mean, right now, as you can see, we also have tough economic situation.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough.
Things are tough.
Mm-hmm.
Base are between expensive.
Yeah.
So you need at the end of the day, you also have a lot of guys that have gone to school and
Mm-hmm.
there's no employment opportunities.
Yeah.
So obviously, where do you expect these guys to go? So then you start becoming crafty. But I
Mm-hmm.
think then again, everybody must try to work as hard as possible and
Yeah.
not to inconvenience others for your incompetence.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
if you were to summarize with the attention to this particular incident,
Yes.
what are like the 5 tips that you can give that common mwananchi out there, not just foreigners, but that
Mm,
common mwananchi out there who wants to go to walk in town or walk
mm,
in the hood? What can
mm.
you tell them as we conclude,
First
Cleveland?
and foremost, stay away from the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We have this tendency of when you're walking, you're always, looking at the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's one
You're on
thing you
TikTok.
must, put far away and
Yeah,
catching up with the stuff happening on social media.
yeah.
put that aside.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware of your environment. If you're having a bag, put it in a good position
Mm-hmm.
that you know you can grab, or use it as a defensive tool
Mm-hmm.
should there be a necessity for that. So
Okay.
those are some of the things that we can have in mind even before we start thinking about a lot of training.
Training. Okay.
Yes.
Nice, nice. So you've
Mm,
talked about staying away from the phone.
mm,
It derives, drags you out of the awareness of your surrounding.
yes.
You've also talked about being aware of where you're
Mm,
going, just taking
yes.
note of the location that you're going to, and pretty much having a research.
Yes.
And I think people can find this information in open source. They can be able to look into it and just see
Mm,
what areas have what kind of risks. This information, I think, is available online, right?
yes.
And just to add on what you said, I
Mm,
think I've also seen people, wearing headphones as well.
mm.
You've talked of
Very
phones.
risky.
It's very
Very
risky,
risky.
very
Very risky.
risky.
But a bad day is a bad day,
Yeah,
regardless of where you find
yeah.
yourself.
True, true,
You
true,
can
true.
be in town and
Hmm.
everything is okay every day,
Yeah,
well and good.
yeah.
Sometimes you can even be in Runda and the same things,
It happens.
it
It
happens.
happens.
It
Yeah.
happens. It happens. So you just have to be prepared for it.
Hmm.
Prepare for the worst case scenario,
Yeah.
but hope for the best.
Yeah, one thing I
Yeah.
noted in
Yeah.
that clip, Cleven, is
Mm.
that that place that they were marked with specificity to that particular clip, it
Yes.
was kind of like isolated.
Yes.
I didn't see a lot of people walking in
Yeah.
that area. I didn't see a lot of
Yeah.
activity apart from the road
Yes.
where
Yes.
vehicles were moving.
Mm.
But would you say that it will be wise for when you're walking not to, to avoid isolated areas?
That could be one thing to look at. By the
Mm.
end of the day, if you do have to get to that particular location, you have
Mm.
no choice but to go.
Okay.
I think I would emphasize that if you're going to such places, you always have somebody who understands that
Yeah, who
area
is,
quite
yeah,
well.
exactly.
If you don't have that particular person, then you're
Uh,
exposing yourself,
yeah.
and there isn't much you can do anyway. What are you going to do against 6, 8, 10 people?
No, it is.
You
It's,
can't fight one person for more than 2 minutes.
you
What will
can't.
you do with these guys? So we leave
Yeah.
the movies to the movies.
Hmm.
When it's about reality, you have to, yeah,
Face it as it is.
yes.
Yeah. So that is a wrap for us, and I would like you to tell our viewers on about generally about yourself and
Mm.
what you do, so that at the end of the day they may also reach out to you directly. Many people have come to me asking me whether I'm Cleveland.
Well, we are brothers, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
you can tell our fans.
our names are Clevin Langi, a security expert. Well, I live in security. We do provide different services in terms of training, security, and all that. Well, what can we say? Security is a passion.
Yeah.
Nothing much to add.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And what is trying to be so modest about is that he's the director of canine alligators.
Mm,
And when we are doing our canine training or canine
mm,
deployment, he's my go-to
mm,
guy.
mm,
Yeah, and that is why we are calling upon even the people who are in security that
mm.
if you continue working together as a team, we don't need to be doing everything alone, because
Yes.
teamwork always makes the dream work. So
Mm.
that's it for us, guys, and we thank you. Stay tuned. Be ready to like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Crimeshield podcast is on, and we are here to stay. Thank you, and see you next time.